G'day folks, Sapper here. I love playing all sorts of games, and often play these while I'm taking a break or breather from games such as World of Warships. Deep Rock Galactic is one of those. Or so I thought. Now, having played it quite a lot over the last couple of weeks, it's not just a game that I'm having a fling with. It's a game that I can keep coming back to anytime I want, and do so without too much hassle. A quick dig is more than a scrape off the surface. It's a quick look at what lies beneath, enough to get an idea of what you found. So here's a quick dig into Deep Rock Galactic, what it is, what it does, and why I thought it was so good that even at 20 hours in, I'm doing a video on it. Deep Rock Galactic is a 1 to 4 player cooperative casual explorer and shooter available on Steam and Xbox. What I mean by casual is that it's easy to jump in and just play. Don't get me wrong, you can get serious with it, but there's no need if you don't want to. You play as one of 4 dwarves: gunner, engineer, driller, or scout. They work for Deep Rock Galactic, a big interplanetary mining corporation to mine and recover a range of minerals and resources. Each mission can last anywhere between 10 and 40 minutes, or even longer depending on how fast you complete it and how much you explore. In these missions, you are given a set of primary and secondary tasks and are encouraged to mine resources you encounter along the way. As you do so, the native inhabitants get restless. The classes do what you think they would do, but also each has a utility for the whole team. Yes, you and your friends could run 4 of one class if you wanted to, but you get more out of a game with the different classes and the synergies that you can get. To give you an idea of the utility involved, Gunner has a 2-way zipline gun. Yep, you can go both up and down. And of course, you can go faster going down. Whee! Engineer has a platform gun. Yep, just shoot platforms all over the place. Make your own paths, stairways, or a Mario level. The driller drills, but seriously can get to any place given time. You often see them drilling on the way back to the pod at the end of a map. Scout can shoot lights everywhere and has a grappling gun, allowing him unrivaled mobility, but just for him. So for example, a scout can leap up to a deposit, but without a platform, will just fall to his death. Sometimes the quickest way to get somewhere is to dig. The driller does this best. Gunner has the zipline. I mean, it's a fucking zipline. But it offers easy ways to traverse large areas as the crow flies, particularly useful to get around hazards. Seriously, you can sit on the zipline and a large portion of the alien inhabitants can't really get to you. And this becomes very handy in higher difficulties. As you can see from a quick examination of these classes, there are 101 possibilities about how you can put all these together. And that is a big plus for this game. There's so many interesting and new ways to make things work, and it's always fun trying to synergize with your teammates. Each class's weapon systems are different too, and they excel in different types of caverns, missions, and situations. For example, the Scout has a pretty reliable assault rifle. Cool, it's good at medium ranges, a little bit at long ranges, but doesn't really have a high damage output. Whereas the Driller has a flamethrower to start with, and that has a large damage output, but a short range. There are some decent progression systems, with each class having a level that unlocks further weapon augmentations, and an account level that unlocks different assignments and things. The progression can keep continuing with the ability to promote and start your character at level 1 but with your current gear. I haven't got to this stage, but I can see how it offers almost endless replayability. As it was, the progression initially feels really important, but as you get further along, forgetting to switch to a certain modification on your weapon doesn't feel like a big deal unless you're really pushing up the difficulty. They've got 3 loadouts per class, which I can see being really important at higher levels for competitive players, where you want to min-max certain builds. You also have these 3 different loadout options when you're talking about cosmetics. And there are heaps of cosmetics available for in-game currencies, as well as some DLC options for some premium ones, but there are so many that you don't really have to spend real money unless you want to. The Deep Rock Galactic community is amazing, simply awesome. In my first couple of games, I had a massively high level player, I think it was around 300, jump in and coach me through all sorts of useful pointers and things. And for every random you play with who can be difficult to complete missions with, there are 2 or 3 good players who just make taking the chance with other players worth every minute. If playing with other people isn't your jam, no worries. Play solo in a private game and you have a robot who assists you with everything. I didn't do it properly for a while, being dismissive of him, but Bosco is really useful. He can go mine things that you can't get to, fetch big chunky gems, and even cover you in combat, or failing that, revive you. Oh, and he has a series of module upgrades that you can tweak to what type of support you need. I'm up to a fairly difficult assignment at the moment, and to be honest, some of my best attempts have been solo with Bosco at my side. The maps are procedurally generated. What this means is that they are almost completely randomized, and you may see some caverns that look similar, but the map will be different every time. There are a range of biomes, snow, desert, lush, and more, and each has its own appearance and map perks. Seriously, the map variety is awesome, and almost every map you're stopping and checking your 3D map, or having a look around for things, and just trying to figure out your bearings. It really does feel like you're exploring. The enemies you'll encounter are the typical alien bug types, with weak points, special attacks, and look like what they do, so you can learn pretty quickly what does what. There's a nice variety of them, and I hate versing all sorts of different ones for different reasons and in different situations, particularly as you jack up the difficulty. For those looking for a challenge, there's a range of difficulty options, but even if you die, you still get a little bit of loot and XP, so no effort is completely wasted. As the difficulty increases, your mission rewards increase dramatically, and I found taking the risk for the higher difficulties is at an appropriate risk-reward point. Sometimes I just like to jump down to the easier ones and kick back and enjoy the game. Thankfully, both the easiest and hardest modes offer enough rewards that I didn't feel shoehorned into the higher difficulties, apart from specific assignments, and that's fine. There is a faction system called Unions. I haven't engaged in it yet, but basically from what I understand, there's a huge mission for all members to contribute to periodically, but it involves joining the Deep Rock Galactic Discord, so I haven't bothered. I have too many Discord servers anyway, but I probably will get involved at some point. Seriously, Deep Rock Galactic is just an absolute bucket load of fun. A game you can easily jump in and play, a game you can quickly leave with no penalty, and is something that I'm going to be jumping in and out of for years to come. Oh, and there's still more content to come, with plans for things like new biomes, new mission types, cosmetics, enemies, and more. And that's just for this year. So if you're looking for a great feel-good game to sink your fangs into when you need a break from things, go for it. Deep Rock Galactic is available on Steam or Xbox for around $45, and has one of the most positive review scores ever seen on Steam. I'm a PC player, and at the very least I'd suggest you add it to your Steam wishlist for when it's on special, because I think it's worth every cent of the $45. But if you don't have that much money lying around, it's worth at least tracking for when you do, or when it's cheap enough to give it a go. All the DLC are cosmetics apart from the OST, so there's no pay gating of content. I picked up a couple just to show my support for this awesome game, and for a pro-consumer DLC system. Honestly, I love Deep Rock Galactic, and even at 25 hours in, I still consider myself a greenbeard, which is what noobs are called. But I can see myself playing this game in 5 years, simply because of how friendly, approachable, and fun it is. So now you hopefully know why I did this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I know it's a new type of video, but I love covering other stuff, and I like to have a bit of variety, so I will do these kinds of videos from time to time. So let me know down in the comments what you think of Deep Rock Galactic, if you'd like to see more videos on it, or, you know, maybe some tips or tricks for greenbeards, or some meme-ish compilations. If you want to see anything in particular, just let me know down there. Anyways, take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one.